Hi, it's me, Debbie Haley again, and I wanted to talk to you today about bravura blades, the 5-in-1s by Wall. And many of us have a love-hate relationship with these blades. We love the clipper, we love how they cut, we love what they do, but we hate the maintenance on them, and we hate how fast we go through blades. So there's a couple of secrets to this. First of all, they cannot be sharpened, and anybody who says they're sharpening them is really just taking your money for nothing. They might last for a day or so after they're sharpened, but they're such soft metal that they really cannot be done that well. So you're going, then I have to throw them away and buy a new one when they go dull? No, you don't. There are numerous people out there, from Wall themselves to Jeff at Northern Tales, to Matthew Yu, to Frank Southall at Grimmer's Mall, along with a host of others who actually refurbish the blades. And you're going, what does that mean? I'm here to tell you what that means. When they take your dull blade, they clean it. They'll replace the back if it's broken, because we all know that little tab has a tendency to break off, especially if you drop it or throw it across the room at your coworkers. Or I've never done that. I've been accused of it, but I've never done it. But whatever happens to it, it's usually a brand new blade too when that happens, and they can replace the back if you can't do it yourself. But that comes along with a refurbishing. So you're going to get a new back platform. You're going to get the blade thoroughly cleaned. You're going to get a new cutter, which is the part that actually needs to be sharp in order for it to work. And then on top of it all, they're going to buff out the outer plate on the inside where the cutter rides. So that's going to be nice and smooth and free from any burrs, and it's going to work like a brand new blade. Now, it costs anywhere from $10 to $13 per blade, depending on where you send them. And like I said, you get back a basic brand new blade. They're going to last just as long as they will if they are brand new, and a whole lot less money. So it makes them a lot more affordable. When you send them into Wall, they get fancy on you. And you get them back in a package, like this one that makes them look like they're brand new. Just no labeling. But that's a refurbished blade right there. And as you can see, when I open it, it looks just like one that came out of the package brand new. It has a little dab of grease. It is spotlessly clean, and it is beautiful to look at. My favorite blade in the world. Now, if for some reason there's something wrong with your blade and they can't fix it at Wall for whatever reason, and they determine that it's their fault, they just send you a new one. This came in my package of refurbished blades that I got recently. So I got a brand new blade for $13, sending them back to Wall. But there are things you can do to make your blades last longer too, and I want to cover those really quickly. I hear people all the time saying, wash them, blow them, they're good to go. No, they're not. Hair gets trapped right in that little groove right there, and then it gets under the cutter. And when that happens, the blade will not cut. No amount of washing or blowing it off with a blow dryer is going to get that out. It just doesn't work. So we take a pipe cleaner and we thread it behind the cutter and the main blade platform. Do you see all the hair that just popped out of that? Well, then we take it one step further and pull it down behind the blade cutter. And I just pulled all of this out from behind the blade. If that is behind the cutter, there's no way it can cut, because the cutter and the platform aren't meeting. And if they're not touching, they're not cutting. So, simple pipe cleaner, you can get 25 or 30 in a bag at the Dollar Tree for $1. Any craft supply house has them. I also use it right in front of the black platform, right there, for the same reason. Hair builds up in there and it's really hard to get out any other way. In fact, that all just came out of there. Now that may not affect the ability of the blade to cut, but it does affect how clean it is. Therefore, it needs to come out. Still not 100% sure I got it all out. Now, if you don't have a pipe cleaner, you can use a zip tie. I like a pipe cleaner because it tends to be a little less abrasive on the cutter itself. Randy Lowe one time told me that most of the blades that he gets in for the 5-in-1s are not dull, they're just dirty. So blade maintenance is important with these. As far as oiling them goes, I oil them once a day. I use WD-40. I lay them on a rag on my table, squirt them a little bit, move the feed back and forth just a smidge to make sure it goes in between the blades, and let them sit overnight, wipe them off, and go the next day. They are perfectly fine that way. Now, one more time, this is a different blade. Remember, you slide your pipe cleaner, if you can get it in there. Sometimes it's tricky, which is why people use zip ties. In fact, my pipe cleaner needs to be replaced. That's how bad it's getting. We use it so often. But you slide it between the blade and the platform, like that. You can see where it comes out. And then pull behind the cutter and get the hair out. When it's done, you should be able to see. You can see through that. See my shirt through that opening? You should be able to see through there. If you can't see through there completely, then there's still hair in there and you need to get it out. Now, we talked about this little tab right here that holds the blade on the clipper. If you drop your clipper, it's probably going to break. Not necessarily every time, but a good 50% of the time the tab breaks off if it lands just right. But they do sell these, and they're super easy to fix. It takes a T7 screw head, which is a specialty head, and it's labeled T7. It goes in those holes and releases the blade. You simply remove the adjuster from the good one and put it on, from the bad one rather, put it on the new plate. Put your springs in place, put it back on with 2 screws. It takes less than 2 minutes to do. These cost about $4. And for some reason, people still throw away blades that are broken like that. If you don't want them, I'll take them from you, because I can get them refurbished and I'll be a very happy camper. You can never have too many Bravura blades. It is my main clipper. I use it on most every dog I do. The tricks to making it last forever as far as a blade goes: keep your blade clean. Don't use it on dirty dogs. Don't force it through a mat. Try to go under or demat the dogs first. Clean the blade daily. Get the hair out from behind the cutter and keep it oiled once a day or so, and you'll be just fine. Over oiling can make them jam because it doesn't allow for the friction that's needed for the hair to cut properly. Dirty dogs cause them to go dull really quickly because the dirt or the sand or the sebum or whatever is in the coat gets on that soft blade and pits it. And once that happens, it's got to go off and get replaced or refurbished. Recently, somebody told me you can buy the cutters yourself, and that Frank Rowe, who also refurbishes blades, by the way, sells them, as does Groomer's Choice, and numerous other places as well. My problem with that is that the plate itself is not getting polished, and I think that that's part of the process. It may work, and it may be a great idea to keep 1 or 2 cutters around in case of an emergency or in case you run out of blades completely, which I have been known to do. And they're reasonably affordable, so replacing just the cutter itself is a good step towards having a blade that works. I just think that if you're going to go through all of that, it makes more sense to send them off and have somebody professionally clean, lube, and buff out the problem areas on the blade. Below this video clip, I've listed off all of the people that I know and links to their websites that actually refurbish or repair these blades. If there's anybody that I missed and you want to be added, simply message me, Debbie, D-E-B-I, at grooming-smarter.com, and I'll be glad to add your name to the list. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you learned something. And everybody have a great day.